I used to use one of these quite a lot in the. And so you record that and you listen to it in the control room, and it may as well be that big, you know. If someone doesn't want to have a whole load of pedals and they want to sort of get a little kind of riff-tastic. A riff like, you know. Which I absolutely, you know, really wish that I wrote. Every day I wish that I wrote that riff. Who doesn't? It sounds just right on that. So the generation of slightly above me, they were all about Marshalls, you know, because I think they were still kind of like Hendrix and that era of musicians, or maybe Hi-Watts, Marshalls and Hi-Watts, you know, Pete Townsend. And but it's funny, you know, you have guitar culture is a very, you can map it out. Guitar culture, to me, I can map out, you know. And I find that really interesting, like the fashions. You know, I don't know whether you're going to be able to pick it up on a video, but... When I talk about this sort of thing to people, they kind of go, oh yeah, I kind of get it. I say, like again in that last video, I say big and clean, but with attitude and driving and stuff like that. And I can see that sometimes, you know, when you talk about sound, it's a strange thing to find the right language. It's like talking about colour, you know, nuances of things. But I sometimes think that if I'm talking about that, it can be mistaken for hi-fi, because people have this idea of like my sound being clean, you know. But what I like about the Deluxe is that it does have that kind of attitude, you know. It's not distorted, but it's kind of got this pumping thing, you know. I wouldn't want to play just this hi-fi. I wouldn't want to play distorted because you can't come back from it. So I mean, I'll just demonstrate what I usually been say. So I kind of have that as my main sort of picture, if you like, various degrees, you know. This to me is perfect. But if I'm playing like live, I need a bigger situation, which I'll talk about in a while. And then within that, then, if I want some drive, you know. So that's not hi-fi in my book, you know. I personally prefer this because I can sort of do some stuff inside of it, you know. You know, and I used it on the record, the Cribs record, to do some aggressive kind of rhythm, I think. And that actually does something that my beloved Deluxe doesn't do. It has kind of, you know, it's got teeth about it. It's got some sort of grit, but it's still like a little like I have a kind of like a little bit of lateral thinking. But I like rock and roll to not get too far away from kind of like mods. Really, I don't like it to just be too testosterone kind of For me, you know, I like stuff to have attitude, and obviously the Healers stuff has got a lot of attitude and everything, but it never gets too kind of, never gets too Harley Davidson. I can appreciate that vibe, but for me, it's always got to be like, you know, I'd always take a scooter over that any day, really. And yeah, I don't like that kind of like metal culture. It's just not for me, you know. But I like aggression, and I like attitude, and kind of rhythm stuff that I do. As I said before, is like not quite as clean as what people think, and the 2 10s in this. Never say it. So for, you know, for a riff like a so it works for that kind of thing. And the Deluxe would, as much as I love it, it would be almost too clear. It needs that aggression, which is rock music, but keep it on the side of the mods, you know.